Miss Bateman. Welcome back to Ticehurst House. It's been quite some time. Terrible weather this evening, is it not? Nurse Blaketon has had enough of me smoking inside. Makes her cough, you see. A bit of rain won't kill me, will it? You mustn't be interested in me nattering on. Give my regards to your father. Nurse Blaketon is preparing his supper. You look pale, Miss Bateman. Do head inside. You'll catch your death out here.
Dearest Mother, I hope this letter will reach you. I have spent these past years in torment, trying to piece together what remains of fractured memories. What I am about to recount to you will seem beyond comprehension, but I beg for your patience. I will endeavour to explain the events that led me to Ticehurst House that night. As far as I can recall, this whole wretched story started with the receipt of a letter from a Mr. Leonard Shoulder. The letter brought me to the isolated village of Bewley, deep in the moors. No station master in sight. I hope the village isn't too far away. I can't recall our exact meeting place. Mr. Shoulder mentioned it in his letter. My mother always told me not to walk on railway tracks. The tracks look quite untarnished. I don't think many trains come through here. Bewley. I have great expectations for this barrow. If I take the sign, how would the trains know where to stop? A path stretches off across the moor. I ought to read Mr. Shoulder's letter again. I can't recall the name of our meeting place. The post looks unattended. Hello there. A door of fine construction. Hello. I have 6 shillings and 2 pence. My assistant Kenneth is bringing more funds tomorrow. I don't like travelling with too much money on me. A gift from my mother. It bears my initials, T.B. I must make my way to the Plough and Furrow Inn. I swear she was not standing there a moment ago. Excuse me?
Yes?
I'm looking for the Plough and Furrow Inn. Do you know where I can find it?
Aye, young lady. Leave the station and follow the dry stone wall for around half a mile. You'll come to Bewley. Go straight ahead and you'll find the market square. The inn is t'other side at square.
Thank you very much. What can you tell me about Bewley?
Well, it used to be a thriving village. Not so much now. I don't spend much time there these days.
Are you local?
Ah, yes, a local I am. But I don't live in the village.
Where are you travelling to today?
That would be none of your business, young lady.
Quite. Apologies. I wish you a pleasant journey. I can't think of anything else to talk about right now. I swear she was not standing there a moment ago.
What brings you to Bewley?
I beg your pardon?
What brings you to Bewley, miss?
I'm here to visit a local landmark, Hobs Barrow.
Hobs Barrow? Well, I can't say I've heard of it. For what reason?
I wish to excavate it.
Grave robber, are you?
Not at all. I merely have an interest in antiquities.
Not much to be found in Bewley, if you ask me. You're better off waiting for the next train back to the city.
I'll take my chances.
Can't say I didn't warn you.
That was odd. A path stretches off across the moor. The path stretches on toward the village. The path disappears over a small rise. The old woman told me to go straight ahead to get to the inn. I'll have time to explore tomorrow. A humble dwelling. The old woman told me to go straight ahead to get to the inn. I'll have time to explore tomorrow. The old woman told me to go straight ahead to get to the inn. I'll have time to explore tomorrow. A humble dwelling. The path leads further into the village. The anvil looks heavy. Beating raw metal into a fine object is an admirable skill. A simple broom. I didn't come to Bewley to sweep their streets. A finely made horseshoe. The blacksmith must also be a farrier. The horseshoe is nailed firmly to the wall. This appears to be the forge of a local blacksmith. The blacksmith looks closed. The bucket has seen better days. The bucket is rusty and full of holes. Perhaps this belongs to a merchant. This must belong to someone. I should leave it alone. A fine example of a church. It looks like it was built in the Norman style. It looks like I'm in the market square. I should find the inn. A fine... It looks like it was... a local dwelling. I don't wish to disturb the locals. The sign is in a shabby state, but the shop appears to be a cobbler's. I can't take the sign, nor do I want to. A local cobbler. The cobbler's is closed. Quite an ornate construction. This was created with pride and care. The cross denotes this as the site of a market, or perhaps a site of traditional religious significance. The building is in a dilapidated state. The door has been boarded up. The building looks like a ruin. There's more houses down that way. It looks like I'm in the market square. I should find the inn. Quite a fine building indeed. I don't wish to disturb the locals. A small plaque beside the door reads Vicarage. A small plaque beside the door reads Vicarage. The Plough and Furrow Inn. The inn where I am to meet Mr. Shoulder. The sign is well out of reach. The window box is well out of reach. These flowers look pretty. Someone must take good care of them. The Plough and Furrow. I have a bit of time before Mr. Shoulder arrives. I should inquire about a room. The window box is well out of reach. These flowers look pretty. The man looks thoroughly inebriated.
Hello there. What's the young lady doing out alone in this sodden weather?
I'm heading to the Plough and Furrow.
Bloody good pub, that. It has the finest ales in the whole county. Oh, I'll take you there if you like.
I believe we are standing directly in front of it.
Oh, so we are. Please,
Yes.
give us a kiss now, won't you?
How dare you?
Wench!
What a buffoon. I should speak to the innkeeper about a room. A cold draught is leaking through the door. It's a crudely painted scene that appears to be of a biblical nature. I don't want to take the painting with me. A fine exemplar of inebriation. Good day, sir. The prices are cheap here. I'm not hungry at the moment. The last orders bell, saviour of many a life. Pulling the bell would be quite unbecoming of me. A decorative plate. This one depicts a cat. A decorative plate depicting a serpent. A decorative plate. This one depicts a bull. A decorative plate depicting an eagle. A decorative plate. This one depicts a dog. A decorative plate depicting a bear. I don't wish to take it. I don't wish to take it. The innkeeper is a serious-looking man. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, lass. How can I help you?
I am in need of a room for the night.
Aye, we aren't short of those. One night, is it?
I shall need at least 2 nights, maybe more.
Aye, 'tis not a problem. 3 shilling per night. That includes your dinner and tea.
A fair price.
I'll need that payment up front for the 2 nights.
The innkeeper is a serious-looking man. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, lass. How can I help you?
Do you know a man named Leonard Shoulder?
Aye, I know the man.
I'm to meet him here tonight.
Can I get you something to drink while you wait?
Not yet, thank you. Bye for now.
As you were.
This is payment for the room.
Thank you. Can I ask for your name, lass?
Thomasina Bateman.
And will Mr. Bateman be staying with us tonight?
No, I am not wed. My assistant is arriving in Bewley tomorrow.
Your assistant, you say? Will you be needing another room?
Please.
I'll keep a room spare. It's not quite as nice as yours, I'm afraid.
Not a problem, sir. I'm sure it will be adequate. Kenneth is a man of inexpensive taste.
Here's your key. Just go through the door to the right of the bar, then up the stairs. Room number 2.
Thank you.
Can I help you with your luggage?
No, thank you, sir. I can manage. I should go upstairs and freshen up before Mr. Shoulder arrives. Room 2, the Plough and Furrow Inn. A rather miserable-looking fellow. He's playing a board game by himself. I think it's 3 Men's Morris. Good afternoon, sir.
Note for you here.
I beg your pardon?
I said there's note for you here, lass. Be on your way.
Charming. The painting depicts a rocky-edged lake. A small bronze plate states the name Lake Cubilius. This door must lead to the guest rooms. A pixie-faced peasant boy, painted in a naive style. I don't want to take the painting with me. They are engaged in an intense discussion. Hello, sir.
We are in the middle of a discussion here.
Sorry to interrupt. They are engaged in an intense discussion. Hello, miss.
What do you want? Bugger off.
A majestic animal, cut down in his prime. The poor thing. The crackling fireplace is more welcoming than the facial expressions of the locals. A lovely place to warm oneself. This painting shows a Rubenesque figure brushing her hair. Quite unusual to see such a sensual work in a room like this. I don't want to take the painting with me. A colourful work depicting a bashful knight. It is signed N. Hamley. A biblical scene of some kind. An angel is depicted looking longingly to the heavens. A dreadful smell is emanating from the WC. I do not need to use the lavatory. This shall do nicely. Time to change into something more comfortable. Much better. A decrepit set of drawers. Jammed shut. The wood must have warped over the years. complementary matches. Useful. Ah, complementary matches. Useful. There's only one match left, though. My evening light shall be provided by this solitary candlestick. As the only light source in the room, I ought to leave this here. A painting of surprising quality, it portrays a rocky outcrop overlooking a vast moor. Perhaps a local landmark. No doubt the mattress is stuffed with itchy straw. I do feel tired after the trip, but my meeting with Mr. Shoulder must take priority. A sturdy-looking thing, useful to many a weary traveller. I've stored my case in there. A box within a box. A decorative plate depicting a goat. I don't wish to take it. A decorative plate depicting a goat. I've stored my case in there. A box within a box. A sturdy-looking thing, useful to many a weary traveller. The wardrobe looks old, perhaps 100 years or more in age. I've hung my dress inside. Aside from that, the wardrobe is empty. A jug of water for drinking or washing. An empty bowl has been provided for washing. I don't wish to carry the bowl around with me. This may come in handy. The door to my room. There is a single match remaining inside. A jug of simple form. It is half filled with lukewarm water.
Miss Bateman, you've transformed.
I feel far more comfortable in my outdoor clothing.
You look like one of those explorers you see in the newspaper.
I guess you could call me an explorer of sorts.
I'm Stanley. Stanley Kemp.
A pleasure to meet you, Stanley.
And tell me, I trust your room is adequate.
Most adequate.
Excellent.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Kemp.
Well, I've been the proprietor of this inn for the last 16 years. I worked as a drover all over the country in my younger days. Saved up my coin and bought this place.
It's a fine inn.
Thank you. I often run short of ale, but my rooms are rarely full. We don't get many outsiders wanting to stay overnight here in Bewley.
What can you tell me about Bewley?
Aye, it's a quiet place. People keep to themselves, work hard.
I look forward to exploring the village tomorrow.
There's not a lot to see, lass. But St. Edmund's Church is a fine building, worth a visit.
Has Mr. Shoulder arrived yet?
Still haven't seen head nor tail of him, Miss Bateman.
What can you tell me about Mr. Shoulder?
Aye, he's a quiet fellow. He only comes here to check his post.
Yes, I've been corresponding with him using this address.
Have you now? You found yourself an admirer?
Not quite.
What business do you have with old Leonard, then?
Well, if you must know, I am what some people call a barrow digger.
A what?
A barrow digger.
What in God's name is that?
Are you familiar with tumuli?
Afraid not.
Barrow is another word for tumulus, or tumuli in the plural. a profoundly interesting subject.
You've lost me.
I excavate ancient burial sites looking for relics. A barrow is traditionally a circular mound of raised earth enclosing a burial chamber.
Oh, aye? You're a grave robber.
I am no such thing.
Don't worry, lass. I've met all sorts in here over the years. I won't tell anyone.
I assure you, my goal is more noble than petty grave robbery.
What sort of relics do you find, then? Gold? Silver? Bones?
Well, rarely gold or silver, but treasures certainly. Ancient pottery is the most common find. I've been excavating barrows all over the country. I'm documenting my findings in preparation for my book. It shall be called Vestiges of the Antiquities in Rural England.
Oh, aye. Very interesting. But what does old Leonard have to do with this?
He sent me a letter in which he told me about an unusual barrow in Bewley. A site called Hobs Barrow. I'm meeting him here this evening to find out more.
I've lived here nigh on my whole life, and I've heard nowt about a Hobs Barrow.
Are you sure you've never heard of Hobs Barrow?
Not in my life, lass. But I'll tell you something. The moors stretch further than the eyes can see once you leave this village. There's no doubt many a discovery to be made.
Mr. Shoulder said the barrow is well known locally, a place of legend.
I'm afraid you're going to have to speak to him about it. Why are you interested in digging around in the dirt, lass? Haven't you better things to do with your time?
I enjoy nothing more than the thrill of discovery, uncovering the past and piecing together our history. I inherited this passion from my father.
Oh, a barrow digger too, eh?
Indeed. He would take me with him on excavations as a child.
Does he still come with you now, on your own adventures?
I'm afraid my father's been bedbound by illness for many years.
Oh, I am sorry to hear that, lass.
Thank you, Mr. Kemp. He is well looked after at a private hospital. Thanks for your time.
As you were.
I have nothing else to ask for the time being. Good day, sir. Do you know a Mr. Leonard Shoulder?
You ought to be careful asking too many questions round here. Be on your way.
Oh, I don't mean to...
Listen to me, will you? Be on your way.
Hello, sir.
What?
I'm waiting here for a man named Leonard Shoulder. Do you know him?
I don't. Do you, love?
Never heard of him.
There you have it. Now clear off.
Hello, miss.
Bugger off.
A curmudgeonly-looking old fellow. Hello, sir.
Aye.
Do you know a Mr. Leonard Shoulder?
You're not local. You've come on that bloody train, haven't you? Bewley's going to dogs.
My name is Thomasina Bateman, and you are...
None of your business, lass. Where's your husband?
None of your business, sir.
Ah! You're brave coming in here, all on your own.
I'm a grown woman.
I'm Cyril.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Cyril. What can you tell me about Bewley?
We're a proud community. I've lived here my whole life. Not much here to interest folks like you.
Folks like me?
Aye.
I take it you are not enamoured with the railway station?
Bewley's gonna be swarming with outsiders, like you. We don't want you coming here. It's as simple as that, lass.
Why not?
This is our town, our land.
I assure you, I am not here to cause trouble.
We'll see about that, won't we?
Do you know Mr. Shoulder?
That'd be none of your business, lass. I don't come to your city poking around asking questions, do I? Man just wants to enjoy his ale in peace.
Bye for now.
Ta-ra, lass.
Mr. Shoulder should really be here by now. I'll sit down and wait. Where on earth is he? What a waste of time this is turning out to be.
Evening there, miss.
Not you again.
I just wanted to apologise for earlier. I deserved that slap. I'm sorry for my behaviour. The drink gets a hold of me sometimes.
Let's start again, shall we?
My name is Arthur Tillett.
Thomasina Bateman.
What brings you to Bewley, anyway?
I'm here to meet someone, but he has not arrived.
His loss, if you ask me.
Perhaps you know the gentleman, Mr. Leonard Shoulder.
Oh, I know Mr. Shoulder all right. If I may be so bold as to say, he's a bit long in the tooth for you.
The relationship is not what you're implying. I've never met him. In fact, I know very little about him at all.
Get me an ale and I'll tell you all about the old sod.
I really don't think you need another.
Please.
No, you're already drunk.
Come on, just one more. Don't you want to hear about old Leonard Shoulder?
Well, yes.
Wet my whistle and I'll tell you everything there is to know.
You drive a hard bargain, Mr. Tillett. As you wish.
Thank you very much, Miss Bateman.
The man looks thoroughly inebriated.
Please, Miss Bateman, an ale to wet me whistle. Then I'll tell you all about old Leonard.
How can I help you?
A tankard of your finest ale, Mr. Kemp.
There we are. 2 pence, please.
Thank you. This was the last of my money. But Kenneth will be here tomorrow with more funds. A tankard of warm ale. I prefer a glass of Portuguese port wine myself. Here you are, Arthur.
Thanking you. Oh, that hits the spot, that does, lass. Now then. Old Leonard Shoulder.
Arthur? Mr. Tillett? Oh, for heaven's sake! The man is in a drunken stupor. Mr. Tillett? He's not dead, just very drunk. I would still like to hear what he has to say about Mr. Shoulder. After one drink too many, Arthur Tillett has passed out.
Oh, what the hell were that for?
You passed out, Mr. Tillett.
Oh, sorry, lass. Where were I? Leonard's shoulder. Hold on another minute. I'm making for a piss.
This man is unbelievable. It feels like an hour has passed. Perhaps I should go in there and check on him.
Miss Bateman? My apologies. The ladies are closed due to faulty plumbing. You'll have to use the gents.
Lovely. Mr. Tillett? The door leads back to the bar. It looks like the towel has not been washed in months. It looks like the towel has not been washed in months. The water is brown, quite ghastly. The water looks highly questionable. I ought to keep my hands out of it. There's no fresh water in there. The jug is empty. The mirror is coated in a thick layer of grime. The mirror is coated in a thick layer of grime. Some excavations are best left to others. These look modern. I'm surprised. I would rather not get any closer. The smell of urine is nauseating. Is Mr. Tillett in there? It sounds like someone is in there. I can see it's still raining out there. I can't reach the window from down here. A cold draft is leaking in from under the door. This leads outside. The door opens a crack, but appears to be blocked from the other side. I think I can hear someone moving around. Mr. Tillett? Arthur, are you out there? Judging from the draft coming from below, this door must lead outside. I should investigate further. The door does not appear to have a locking mechanism. Mr. Tillett? Mr. Tillett, are you in there? Mr. Tillett, are you in there? Well, you're not Mr. Tillett. The mangy thing is fast asleep. I'd rather not touch it. The thing stinks to high heaven. A dreadful smell is emanating from the WC.
How can I help you?
There's a door to the outside in the gents' lavatories. Why is it bolted?
That door doesn't even have a lock.
So you didn't lock the door?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Have you seen Arthur Tillett?
I thought he were with you.
He went to the lavatory and has not returned.
That sounds like Arthur Tillett. Don't worry, lass. He'll be back.
Thanks for your time.
As you were.
Excuse me, sir. A small alley splits the inn and its neighbour. The village square is back this way. warm glow permeates from within, making me feel somewhat cold and damp. The window is well out of reach. The post has been embellished with a fine bronze bust of a horse. The post has been I could tether a horse here if I had one. I could tether a horse here if I had one. A single glove is lying in the mud. A pearly white gent's glove. It's certainly unlike anything Mr. Tillett was wearing. It seems rather out of place here. Peculiar. A fine white glove, gent's style. I found it in the alleyway behind the plough and furrow. A beam of wood is propped up against the door, barring it closed from the outside. Someone has wedged the door shut. Mr. Tillett? Why would he have done that? Did Mr. Tillett leave, then block the door behind him? Something strange is going on here. Who was that old chap I saw outside the alley? He headed eastward. Maybe I could catch up with him and ask him if he saw Mr. Tillett. The mangy thing is fast asleep. I'd rather not touch it. The thing stinks to high heaven. Sturdy-looking barrels, no doubt used to store ale. I suspect the barrels are empty, otherwise the locals would be rolling them into their cellars. It's the small window to the lavatories. Surely Mr. Tillett could not have squeezed through that gap? I can't reach the window from down here. The door leads into the rear of the inn. A thin path curves towards some more buildings. Sir? A humble local dwelling. I don't wish to go knocking door to door. The path leads toward a long road. The old man has disappeared into the darkness. I'd best turn back to the inn. The path leads back to the village square.
Last orders.
I should get some sleep. Finding the missing men of Bewley shall have to wait for tomorrow. There's nothing else I wish to discuss at the moment. A lovely place to warm oneself. The crackling fireplace is more welcoming than the facial expressions of the locals. Kenneth will be arriving tomorrow at midday. I should get some sleep. Kenneth will be arriving tomorrow at midday. I should get some sleep. Yes, I must get some sleep. I shall track down Mr. Shoulder tomorrow.
Miss Bateman?
Yes?
Off to bed?
Yes. I'm afraid Mr. Shoulder's let me down.
The rotter. Perhaps he will make himself known tomorrow.
I should hope so. This is turning into a waste of my time.
Don't mind the locals, miss. It's just that we don't get a lot of visitors in Bewley.
Quite.
They mean well, believe me.
Sure, Mr. Kemp.
Please, call me Stanley.
Good night, Stanley.
Sleep well, Miss Bateman.